This is Alex 2007 here, and actually, no, actually, it's gonna be the. So, as you guys saw, it's Alex 2007 here today. I'm gonna be doing everything wrong with Stay Calm in 4 minutes or less, and, let's see if I take this off real quick. It's gonna be a little bit less of a longer video because it's only 4 minutes long. I don't know how long this is gonna take. So for animation sense, I'm gonna use blue. So yeah, I guess we could just draw. Actually, let's turn on the light a little bit. There we go, so we can actually see. And if I want, I'll put the camera down real quick. Okay, it's real quick. Okay, I promise. There we go. As you can see, animation sense is the blue, and animation credit is going to be the brown. So, all right, I'm prepared for this. Okay, so my phone's at 23%, but that's okay because this is not gonna be a long video, and it should last a few minutes, or at least last a couple hours.
There's a shadow on the wall. Stay calm. The camera blurs every time the shot switches. Why is...
You do realize that motion blur is a common thing in animations, because, you know, because it's hard to make an animation without motion blur, because I guess, so, yes, just one second. Yay! We'll do this.
Freddy alone on the stage. Guess they didn't have the budget for the others to make an appearance. Stay calm. Stay calm. The camera blurs every time the shot switches. Why is Freddy alone on the stage? Guess they didn't have the budget for the others to make an appearance.
Hold on. You think that making an animation costs money? They didn't have the budget for the others to make an appearance? Making an animation is completely free. And probably because he probably thought it would be a little bit more time, you know, just to make, because he probably didn't know, like, what to do with them, because it just needs something to make sense with the video, as I said in my last video.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Where's this light coming from behind him? There's no source behind him that would give off any light. If you're gonna cheat your lighting, at least give it some believability.
No, because there are actually lights that you can switch on in the office. And also, you do realize that sometimes that you can forget to turn off the light to the hallway. And that also is a sin. There we go. 3 sins so far.
Wow, that's a pretty huge clock. I guess you would need a clock that big to read the numbers that don't appear to be there.
You do realize that there are some clocks that are bigger than a grown adult's head. Like, I have a clock that's like 2 times bigger than both my parents' heads, so yeah. And it's not offensive. It's the truth. And that's a sin.
And we never heard from him again.
Because it's motion blur. And if it's motion blur, when you saying like that his soul is appearing out of his body because of the motion blur, and that's not a sin. It's just motion blur being motion blur. So yeah, that's also sin.
I think this dude has a spinning addiction. He spun around 3 3 times in the past few seconds.
There's nothing wrong with spinning around. Spin around all the time that you want, because basically he has to spend like 6 hours at his job because he has to go from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. So he's got to at least have some amusement while he's here. And why you've been mentioning that, some people like to spin around all the time. Because like a merry-go-round, people like to go on a merry-go-round, and that spins. And if it spins, they spin. Yeah. And that's... how many spins? Let's go 2. Because I don't know. I'm just being random here.
There's a stranger in a stall. Foxy has no hook.
This is an old animation. Therefore, maybe he didn't know how to make Foxy have a hook with this rig. And also, you didn't even mention his ears, because it looks like Freddy ears. But then again, this is an old animation. So, how many cents should we give this one? 3? Okay. We'll do 3, because I'm just being random, okay? This is my first ever day doing it, so I'm going to probably be doing this every once in a while. Or something, at least. So, yeah.
The lights following the character are painfully obvious.
The lights following character obvious? Painfully obvious, even? Because it's a light? And Animation Critic also mentioned this in the You Can't Hide video. And besides it, we're following the main character, and if, there's probably a flashlight that looks like it's following him because it's a big light. I don't even know. 2 cents for confusing me. How about that?
Straight through Foxy. Why is he even afraid of these things? They're as flimsy as paper.
Do you not see how big Foxy's jaw is? Do you also know how sharp his teeth are? And besides, these animatronics, aka the souls that are possessing them, are haunting him at night. And that's not a sin. You're allowed to be afraid of them. Haven't you seen Markiplier in the FNAF musical? And in that musical, spoilers, but he actually pushed Foxy back into the vent. And usually the animatronics are heavy because they're like at least 100 times his weight, at least that. And that's not even a sin for being afraid of them. Even if they are flimsy as paper, they are still creepy. So, 3 cents. How about that? That good? Cool.
There's a few ways you could get out of this predicament. You could climb onto the tables, or run through the chair, or you could just punch him in the face. Why is he afraid of these things again?
Actually, he punched him in the abdomen. At least. And that would definitely knock a person down because it's painful, and I would not want to be Bonnie because of that. And also, actually, don't you remember that there's also 3 other animatronics, Foxy and Chica? And if he ran through the tables or like climbed onto the chairs, if you climbed on the chairs, he would probably slip and fall, which you would be happy about because you would want this video to be over. And Chica would also get him, or Foxy, because Foxy's super fast and Golden Freddy could teleport. And that was the appropriate response. And if he ran to Freddy, he would have gone through Foxy. And then, but it's probably optional for go for Bonnie because there's only one animatronic on that side. But if he went for the right, he would have faced through two animatronics. And he did not punch him in the face. Yeah, just pointing that out. So 3 sins, I guess we could say.
Ah, my eyes. The lighting is way too bright.
Because it's a bright light source. And also, the first time I saw this did not blind me. Unless you have sensitive eyes or you're way too close to your screen. Besides, if it was like right in your face, then yes, it would probably blind you. But it's on your screen. It's not reality. Like, for example, if it was a flashlight shining in your face, then that's appropriate response. But let's see, let's give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with 5 sins, yeah.
Wait, so the doors work again? Earlier, you could hear Freddy unscrew the bolts on the door to get through.
That's fine. Uh-oh.
I guess Freddy felt sorry for him and bolted the doors back up after he ran.
Actually, I don't even know what to say about this, but how would Freddy feel sorry for him if he's trying to stuff him in a Freddy Fazbear suit? And also, by the way, wouldn't it be Bonnie? Because he's the one on the left side? Or is on the right? Well, in the shot, he's on the left. So we're just going to say the left because that's easy enough, okay? Is that cool? Cool. 2 sins. Great.
Dude, you've got a little something on your hand. Oh, that is your hand. I guess the animator forgot to fix that mesh deformation. What?
Actually, he did. He's like,
Dude, you've got a little something on your hand. Oh, that is your hand. I guess the animator forgot to fix that mesh deformation.
you do realize that as you played in slow motion, it wasn't deformed anymore. Or that mesh deformation, if that's what you call it. Because you probably should have looked at it in slow motion before actually sending it. And yes, I could have agreed with you if you hadn't realized that they fixed it. So, sin. That's just 1 sin.
Why are the stage lights off? So you're telling me they're off during hours, but after hours they're turned on? That's some tomfoolery if I've ever seen it.
Hold on.
Forgot to fix that
The way you said it.
Why are the stage lights off? So you're telling me they're off during hours, but after hours they're turned on? That's some tomfoolery if I've ever seen it.
Okay, so the way you said it
Forgot to fix that
is...
Why are the
So this is the way it was spelled, or the way it looks like it's pronounced. Why are the stage lights off? So you're telling me they're off during hours, but after hours they turn them on? As I'm tomfoolery if I've ever seen it. So this is the way you said it, of how it looks.
stage lights off? So you're telling me they're off during hours, but after hours they're turned on? That's some...
You said... So you're telling me they're off during hours, but after hours they're turned on. The way you said it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sins.
tomfoolery if I've ever seen it. Where's all this light coming from? I don't see any bulbs, and the stage lights are off. So what gives? Maybe it's the luminosity from the ghosts of the people who died by watching this video.
Wow. Now that was just wrong. The way you said it. Because, as I said in the last episode, well, this is this is also a really old video, you can clearly see that the light is stronger right here rather than up here. And as I said, it's probably a lamp or some kind of light source that's pointing up at the sky, like a flashlight. But we don't see the flashlight, so that's why it looks like there's no light source. Besides, this is an old animation, as you can see. So how many sins should we do? Let's do... We'll do 3. Yay.
Are you ready for some Fazbear pizza?
And we never heard from Bonnie again.
Because of the motion blur, again. Sin.
That's pretty bright. In the game, Pirate's Cove is almost pitch black.
Creative license. You know, because it's... Because, you know, he wanted you to see that Foxy was in there. Because if it was pitch black, you would barely see Foxy. And that's why it's really bright. It looks really cool when it's super bright. Because, you know, it's a really cool. Like, to add to Foxy. Because he's the only pirate. And, yeah. Yay. So, another set. Yay.
And we never heard from Chica again.
Again, because of the motion blur. You didn't realize you could have just sent all of the motion blur. Because you keep saying that same sentence over and over again. So let's see, how many sins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, 10 sins. Happy? Cool.
Original no copy enchanted mob.
Original no copy enchanted mob? You didn't spell copy right. It's C-O-P-Y, not C-O-P-I-E. Now it sounds like original no copy, because that is how I spell pie, not P. And I don't mean that. I mean like as in copy, not just P. And I'm just going to transfer saying the vegetable because that sounds a lot better. So, let's see. We'll do 2 because that is great.
Inner strength within. Stay calm. Stay calm.
Where'd the motion blur go?
So you're sinning for the motion blur being there, and now you're saying it because there's no motion blur? That's just... So basically, I don't know, but it's still a sin. Yay.
The advertisement here reuses a shot from earlier. I know it isn't that big of a deal, but you could have at least used a brighter picture.
And stay calm.
Where'd the
Well-
motion blur go?
Well, basically, it would be harder to try and figure out the perfect picture. So it's great to reuse a shot from like an earlier frame or earlier scene or later scene at least, because it would be a lot harder to find something else, and it looks a lot better. And using a brighter picture, I think it's probably because of the brightness of it. So that deserves a sin, at least. Yay. We're doing good. This is really great. I should do more of these.
Advertisement here reuses a shot from earlier. I know it isn't that big of a deal, but you could have at least used a brighter picture. Cheap backwards footage gimmick.
It's not cheap. It's just better to do it backwards because it will be a lot of work just to figure out what to do with the rest of the animation with the musical, so it makes a lot of sense. Like in Bonnie's Mixtape, for example. Like that. Because if it's for like, if it's for the instrumental part, then that's when you could use the backwards footage. And it's not the same, because it's great having that.
Also, the opacity is turned on so much that it hurts my eyes to try and focus on what I'm watching.
It's probably because, as the instrumental continues, the more it's getting towards the end of the song. And you know that is not actually a sin. It's just animation being an animation. And that's a sin, so yay.
This goes on for some time. Oh, apparently Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria is located just outside of Minometer.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Let's see. I don't know what Minometer is exactly. But I don't think it's outside of Minometer. So, sin, I guess?
Also, what is up with that sky texture? Looks like somehow space managed to get run over by a steamroller.
You do realize that was actually kind of funny the way you said it. Which actually made me laugh before. And it still kind of does, because it's kind of funny. Steamroller, by the way. But no, it's just a texture because, after all, this is, again, an old animation. You know how sometimes, like, because, I don't know, it's just a texture. It's just a texture. It's just a texture being a texture. And I guess it's cool, I guess? So, yeah, let's see.
Morning sun will set me free.
That doesn't look like a morning sun to me.
It's probably because he can see the sun over the horizon. But you just can't see it because it's still nighttime on that side, but it's probably he probably sees the sun over the horizon a little bit, which is, you know, my phone's gonna die soon, but I will quickly hurry up this video, which doesn't have very long, and I'll add sin real quick, and
Those lights. Come on, kids. Who wants some Freddy Fazbear's Pizza?
that is not a spelling error, because it's saying Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not Pizza. Because it sounds like you're actually the robot now, like, that's like, hi, I am for Freddy, like that. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not Pizza, like that, okay? Let's see, and now, let's see, was that 2 or 3 cents, actually? How much that?
Don't worry, he'll be back again tomorrow.
So, does he not go to the bathroom, or does he just hold it in all night?
See him do it to Fiona. We were both just staring at each other. It was extremely awkward.
Why didn't you animate that conversation? That would have been much more interesting than everything else we just saw.
Well, actually, it's because he didn't know how it would end, and also because, you know, someone can just make a remake of it, which, you know, like how Ecker Coaster did. You Belong Here 2 years later, like that. for example. And yeah, so yes, I guess. I mean, yes, it would be a lot more interesting, but it's still a sin. Yeah. You're still using that thing you used? Pizza? Really? Pizza, not pizza, okay? Okay, that's the last time I'm saying it, okay? Cool? Cool. So we found 31 things wrong with this video. Well, I found 60 things wrong with your video. Yeah. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell till it goes ding dong, and comment down below you want me to make everything wrong with or whatever. Or like everything blank with let's see. Let's take an example. We'll do for example, this is my example, okay? What if I did everything wrong with thing wrong with I don't know. Everything wrong with I don't know, maybe not really one I can use or something. Alright, let's just do this for example. Like everything wrong with Baby Story episode 5 or something. Like take that for example. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.